Here's a little Nui bag for you guys. And here's a couple of Nui shirts. So I'm going to try to see if we can get some systems together for how many people have a few in the pen and see what we can do for you guys. So I'm sorry, guests. I had to kind of tease the members a little bit because a lot of them want the hat and some equipment. So just wanted to tease them a little bit. But thank you so much for being here. I appreciate everyone being on. We're going to get started right on time as always in about 3 minutes. And this will be a fun night for you. We do this every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. I promise you I'm not going to waste your time. I'm also not going to hype you or give you a whole bunch of I don't know what people call them today, but there's a whole bunch of people trying to give you information and trying to pull the wool over your eyes. I'm just going to be direct to the point, as you can see on our page, that I just need to be right to the point. So we're going to start again in about 2 minutes. Appreciate everyone being on. Thank you so much for being here. If you can do me a favor, I'm going to mute everyone. If you can say where you're calling from and where you're logging in from and who you are. Hello, there's a lot of people on now. People didn't think I had them muted, so let me mute everyone again. I'm going to try it again. Okay, so if you can unmute yourself and say where you're calling from, that'll be greatly appreciated because the other way is not working. If you can unmute yourself and say where you're logging in from, that'll be greatly appreciated.
Hi, Mark Seymour from Indianapolis, Indiana.
Hey, Mark, how are you, buddy?
Real good. How are you, sir?
I'm on top of the roll. Thank you for asking.
Looking forward to
Hello, Mississippi.
Hello, who did we just have?
Kristen from Tupelo, Mississippi.
Hi, Kristen. How are you?
I'm good.
Great.
Hello.
Who else
Hello.
do we have?
Corey Dismuke from Fairfield, California.
Hey, Corey. How you doing, bud?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm on top of the roll. Thanks for asking.
Awesome.
Okay. Anybody else? Who else do we have? I know we have a lot more people than that on here.
Good evening, everyone. This is Mark Reddick out of Cabo.
Hello. Hey, how are you? We have Mexico in the house, Cabo in the house. Thanks, Mark. Okay, we're less than a minute away, so you guys were a little bit slow, and I had to tease some of the members with some of our neat little stuff. So I apologize, but I'm going to mute everyone out. I'm going to get the recording started. We're starting in less than 30 seconds. Okay, hold on 1 second. Okay, let's get the recording. Oops, sorry. Let's get the recording going. And we're recording. Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Tuesday Nui social call. I appreciate everyone being on. Thank you very much. My name is Clay Sampson. We have people from around the world on the call tonight. Even Cabo. I know we had a few people on Sunday or a couple of weeks ago from Australia, England. So we're definitely starting to grow. So I really love this. So tonight, I just want to be direct with you, honest, to the point. That's the only way I know how to be. I'm not going to hype you. I'm not going to give you, this is kind of casual, but it's great information. You get to make whatever decision. I'm not going to hype you and bring on another speaker and say how much they're a 7-figure, 8-figure, 9-figure earner. In fact, it was so interesting. Someone called me yesterday and was telling me again about an opportunity. And of course, within the first minute I have to hear, yeah, my person I'm working with is making $300,000 a month. You know, ladies and gentlemen, I am so tired of people telling me how much money they're making. The bottom line is, look, whatever you do and you make, great, wonderful. But what matters is you. What matters is if this situation is going to work for you, you have to be responsible for yourself. I hear all these stories, you know, I'm not going to hype you. It is what it is, okay? So can someone please give me permission to be direct to the point? And let's jump right in.
You got it.
Thank you very much. Okay, so I'm going to go off screen for a little bit, and then I'll come back on after, but I just want you to pay attention to the slides, and then I'll be back on, okay? Here we go. Okay, so I have my first question to ask you is, I have a briefcase, and in my briefcase, I have $1 million cash in it, and I'm willing to give it to you if you jump out of an airplane without a parachute. I've asked that question many, many times, and this is usually the same response I get. No, I'm not going to jump out of it. Or I've had a couple smart people say, well, is it over water? If it's over water, maybe I will. I'm not sure how smart you are, to jump out of something in a high rate of speed over water, it may not be that comfortable for you. But the interesting part of my question is, I never said the airplane was in the air. In fact, if you took an inventory of most airplanes, they are on the ground at an airport, sitting there not moving. So the answer to the question could have drastically changed your financial situation. But what happens to some people is they jump to conclusions. I think this is why I was told yesterday that this person is making $300,000 a month. And I think that's why people jump on opportunities and try to impress you with what someone else is doing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, just because someone is doing something doesn't mean that you can do it, because you never know how the system works. So you have to look at something for yourself. And tonight I'm going to show you something that you can do passively or you can do massively. That's up to you. But when you do something passive, it's definitely something that you control, not what other people control. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that tonight, okay? But first, let's jump into the hopes that you're in. I hope this meeting finds you healthy and enjoying life. I really do, because this is my time to pay it forward. I'm getting later on in life, and sometimes when you get later on in life, you start seeing things a little bit differently. I'm no longer looking at myself. I'm looking at what can I give to the world? What impression can I leave in the world before I pass on? And it's really important to me. So paying it forward is very important to me, and I hope you are healthy and enjoying your life. Are you living your dreams? If you're not living your dreams, I will show you something tonight that can make a difference and head you and point you in that direction if you're not already there. It is not that complicated. Are you able to retire your parents? That's one of the major things I've ever done in my life. My wife asked me to do that for her parents, and I was also able to do that for my mom a few years ago. What an amazing feeling to give back to people that gave you life and put them in a situation they're comfortable and they don't have to work anymore. But the main reason is, because if you can't take care of yourself, you can't take care of other people. Are you able to retire yourself? I'm not sure where you stand right now in life. I'm not sure what the next 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, don't know how old you are, or what does it look like for you. But in this country right now, I read about 62% of people at the age of 40 to 55 years old have less than $5,000 in savings. I mean, that is an alarming fact. And the rest of most of the people have less than that. So it's an alarming fact, and you have to put yourself in a position to have a better life. I hope you are. So what I want to talk about today is 4 industries that most of us use, most of us deal with. At least 3 of them I know everybody probably has used on this call is an automobile, electricity, internet, or the stock market. The question I have for you is, how much do you know about an automobile? Do you know exactly how it works? Can you go into a factory right now and make the best automobile out there, make it safe, do everything you need to know, and without any help from anyone else? Or are you in a position that you just use it to get from point A to point B and it enriches your life? Same thing with electricity. Do you know how to get electricity to our home? Do you know how to get electricity to your computer, to your refrigerator, to your washer and dryer? Or are you just the product of enjoying what it gives you? Same thing with the internet. I'm going to be on the internet tonight showing you guys a few things. Do I know how the internet actually works, or do I just use it to enrich my life, to give me in a better situation? Same thing with the stock market. The reason why I bring these things up is because most people have something called analysis paralysis, and they think they're going to put themselves in a position, oh, I have to know everything before I do something. Ladies and gentlemen, at the end of this meeting tonight, I'm going to show you 84 million reasons why you should not have analysis paralysis. But I'm going to hold that thought for you until the end of the meeting. But these 4 things, again, basically, they're just things that we use to enrich our life. You don't have to know intimately how it all works. So is the opportunity that I'm going to share with you. You don't have to know intimately how it works. In fact, I know a lot about it, but I will never know it intimately. However, it's going to enrich my life, enrich my children's life, my grandchildren's life, their children's life for generations. That's how I see it, okay? So what we're going to talk about tonight is 3 simple things. I'm going to talk about how we're going to make money, how we're going to use that money to make more money, and how we're going to repeat the process. Because if you can do those 3 things, it's a beautiful thing, okay? So first thing I want to talk about is this wonderful thing called magic of compound interest. It is the 8th wonder of the world. If you're not making magic of compound interest, chances are you're paying too much interest and you're not putting yourself in a position to retire, put yourself in a position to become better. So here's my thought. How much are you currently earning right now on whatever money you have put away, whether it be a 401k, a mutual fund, CD, money in your savings account, whatever the situation, what are you currently earning? Everybody kind of have an idea of those figures. In fact, I saw someone post on my page over the weekend that they found a CD that's willing to pay 2% in 6 years or 5 years or something like that. 2% in 5 years. What if I told you we have a vehicle that you can get paid between 1% and 5.5% per week? Not per year, not per 5 years, not per 10 years, per week. And again, I only owe you two things: an opportunity and proof that it works. I'm going to show you proof that that worked in a little bit. Again, I am not a financial advisor. I'm not with the SEC. I don't have a license to broker funds. All I'm going to do tonight is show you something that I did starting January 27, 2018, and what my results were. If you follow the same path that I followed, you will probably have the same results. If you don't follow the path, you will have different results. So every person will have their own results. However, it will still be a win for you as I show it to you, okay? So which would you pick? Would you pick $10,000 a day for 30 days, 300 grand? Or would you pick a measly little penny that you can find sitting on the floor, in the couch, under your carpet, in your car, under your mat or whatever, in your ashtray or whatever it is, for doubled for 30 days? Which one seems more feasible? See, most people think 10,000 a day sounds really good. A penny is kind of a small number. But again, this is people jumping to conclusions, because a penny double a day for 30 days is $5.3 million. Most people don't understand that because you haven't thought the whole thing through, because it starts off very small. The first 10 days is only $5.12. By day number 16 is only $327. Still not great. You're beyond half the time and it's only $327. You're like, man, it's been half the time. I only have $327. That's not a lot of money. But when you get into the 20th day, 5,000, the 24th day, 83,000, the 27th day, 671,000. That's where the compounding effect, and I'm going to show you proof of that tonight, not just in a, I have to turn off my thing here. I don't know why that's going on. So not just in a situation where you actually see it happening on a penny. I'll show you a situation where it actually happens. Okay, sorry about that interruption, you guys. Okay, what we're going to be talking about tonight is called mining. And no, we're not going to ask you to put on some boots and some overalls and get a pick and an axe and a shovel and go mining. What this is called mining in blockchain. Now, blockchain may be a little fancy of a word for you. You may not fully understand what it means. And this is where you have to just get a little bit of a knowledge. Here's where you get the knowledge. You can go to a site, very simple. Please write this down. NUI, which is NUI. The word educate. So we're going to educate you. NUI, educate.info. Very simple. And when you go there, you'll see a video that you'll see lots of things that you can check out. Please feel free to look as much of it as you like. You'll see a section that says 14 minutes. And the 14 minutes is where you can get educated on Bitcoin and educated on blockchain within 14 minutes. There's also a 55-minute video on there that I highly recommend you watch, because it will put you in a different mindset. And after when I close tonight, I'm going to show you a mindset that's going to get a lot of people's attention. But please take the time to understand this. And to break it down a little bit for you, what basically blockchain does is blockchain is the new technology. I call it the new internet, that is allowing all transactions in the world. It's going to take over the real estate market. It's already taken cryptocurrency. It's going to take over many, many divisions to allow everything to be transparent and everything to be like in a journal. Everything is recorded correctly. There's no mistakes. Everything is transparent. The ledger balances with one person. One person can't cheat from another person. I mean, in fact, if you look at it right now, there are many, many large buildings in the United States, especially in New York, that nobody knows who owns them, because there's never been the right bookkeeping. There's never been the right situations, and people don't realize that they're multi-million-dollar buildings and nobody knows what's going on with them. And things like blockchain will change that. Okay, so I want you to fully understand what blockchain is going to be, and please do your research and get it done. So let me give you the math on how blockchain works and how it's going to work to help us get to a retirement situation. Now, a lot of people back in the 1800s did something called the gold rush. So the question is, who do you think made all the money? The people looking for the gold, or the ones selling the shovels, the picks, the axe, and the pans? So same situation with cryptocurrency for right now until blockchain goes into other industries. Who's making all the money on Bitcoin? Is it the people selling the Bitcoin and buying the Bitcoin, or the people mining the Bitcoin? To mine it, it's just sophisticated computers that we're part of. We get to rent part of those computers, and we get paid anywhere from 1 to 5.5% per week. So I'm going to show you this based on 2.5%. So I'm going to kind of go on the lower end of the scale, not the higher end of the scale. So let's say you were to put $1,000 into mining, which is a little bit less than I started with. I started with $1,131. I tried starting with $1,000, but I was fortunate enough that Bitcoin went up within the 3 days I had it sitting in my account before I actually put it into the company, and it went up $131. But let's say you start with 1,000. 1,000 will pay out $25 in the first week. So if you do it by Thursday, you get paid the next Wednesday $25. Now, these contracts are based on 156 weeks, which is 3 years. So the company has a contract, a written contract. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a verbal contract. This is a written contract with your name on it, with the company's name on it, with a timestamp on it, with a blockchain number on it. You can print that document out and put it in a file, okay? If you wanted to collect your $25 every single month, every single week for 156 weeks, and we average 2.5%, you will make $3,900 minus your 1,000. It's a pretty good increase. Where else can you put $1,000 into account and get that type of return, or get that type of reward? I'm sorry, not return, reward. So if you would like to get bigger rewards, it's very simple. You compound it. And if you compound it, it will turn into 46,089.38. Very, very simple. Now, at the end of 3 years, by the way, you can cash out every single week, or you can compound it. If you compound it, at week number 157, the $1,000 is going to come off. So you have 46,089 minus 1,000. So you'll get paid let's say if it's 2.5%, 2.5% of 1127. Then the following week, the $25 you made in week 2 comes off. Now it'll be 1126. Now the smart person will say, you know what? Let me cash out 2 or 3 of these and put another one back in to keep the cycle going. That's how you continue doing it. And my cycle is a little bit bigger than this in my mindset, because I have a plan and a goal of where I would like to be. This is 46,000. My goal is to have actually about 3 million in the account within 3 years. I want to do 1 million a year, and I'll show you how we're going to get there. Publicly, I've only said 1 million before, but I've decided to do some math and show people how to go, and I've made a few decisions, and you get to make those decisions yourself also. Okay, so who are we? Who's the company? The name of the company is called Nui Social. That's the corporate building. The 5th floor, the whole 5th floor is Nui. It is covered by a few different things. Tonight, I'm only going to discuss with you Mintage Mining, which is in the bottom right. There's several other facets of our company, several other income streams. But if I was to go over all of those with you, we'll be on this call for about 3 hours. So don't want to do that to you. However, you can go to Nui, NUI, educate.info, and find out all the stuff you need to find out about Core, which is a great portion of our company, up and coming, doing very well. A lot of people do very well with that. Kala, that's going to be the big one. In fact, Kala is going to be the backbone of our company. You can go do some research on that also. It's our own coin coming out here very shortly. And Jones Day is our firm that covers that's our attorney firm. Now we have an in-house attorney by name of Greg. He's in our corporate office, but Jones Day is our crypto attorney that oversees any decisions that we make. I personally email them directly because I'm a very skeptical person. So I sent an email to Jones Day from a different email address to see how they'll respond, because a lot of people are asking me, hey, do you think Jones Day is really part of the company? Well, tell you what, anybody can say anything. I like proof, because I believe documentation beats conversation because anybody can say anything. So whenever I show you or tell you something, it's because I've documented it myself and I've checked it myself. Now, if you want to do the same situation for yourself, that's up to you. However, I sent an email and I got an email directly back the next morning from Jones Day saying, yes, that's our client. So I thought that was great. Now, our office is in Utah. And the goal for NUI is very simple. They want to have 1 million people making. Now, I'm not sure how many of you want to raise your hand for the 10,000, but I highly recommend you do. And I'll tell you where I think, in my opinion, from what I see, where those millionaires are going to come from. They're going to come from the Kala token. Now, there will be several millionaires made by Mintage, but the Kala token will be a little bit easier to get to that $1 million status with less work because you all know that our system works very simply. You can make this passively or massively. If you want to make it massive, you have to build a team and get people to see what you're doing, and that takes a lot more work. Kala token is going to be very simple because by the world working and using that token, as the value of it grows, your net worth's going to grow and you're not doing anything. So Kala really is going to be the backbone of our company, but Mintage is sure going to, I kind of call it this way. This is a good analogy. Mintage will buy the fuel, Kala will buy the jet. So if that makes sense to you, that's basically what it is. So that's the presentation. Now I want to get to the proof portion of it because I think, again, documentation beats conversation, and feel free to ask me any questions as I end this, but I want to show you the documentation. So ladies and gentlemen, I joined the company January 27, 2018. If anybody wants to look at a calendar, that was a Sunday night. I joined Sunday night, and the 7th was the first day, the Thursday that I could put funds in, and I bought my Bitcoin actually on Sunday and put it into account. Didn't purchase any contracts yet until the Thursday, and Bitcoin went up $131. Now, my 131, let me show you basically what my results have been. This is what I started with, $1,131, and my results have been actually spiking very heavily because of the magic of compound interest. And I'm also going to show you a spreadsheet to show you what my goals and aspirations are as I build this. So here's my 15 weeks of production. So the 7th is when I put it in and I got paid. And this is my full run all the way through last week. Tomorrow again is payday, which is the 23rd. So here's my run, and this is what the runs look like. This is going to keep growing. The reason why it always grows because there's always someone purchasing Bitcoin. There's always someone purchasing Litecoin, ETH, all different coins are being purchased and mined. Sometimes people say, well, what's the chance of us losing? Well, it's very hard to lose. The only way we're going to lose in mining is if someone doesn't buy any coins. And let me show you how many Bitcoins have been bought how many transactions have been done in the last 24 hours. In the last 24 hours, there's been 205,000 just on Bitcoin. And this rolls all day long. The market cap for Bitcoin is $142 billion. It was a lot more back in November or December, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. And the hash rate is running pretty strong. There's your hash rate right there, 32,340,000. Some of you may not know what that means, but the bottom line, here's what it means. Even though Bitcoin today is at 8,022 as we speak right now, the bottom line is it doesn't matter what Bitcoin goes up, goes down, we get paid in mining units every single Wednesday, and tomorrow's our payday. Okay, so let me show you what's happened to my $1,100 with this chart. So my $1,100, $1,131 in 15 weeks has turned into, drum roll please, a grand total of, internet's running, $15,581.69. Well, that number actually is a little bit more because I've seen what my account looks like since last Thursday, and the number is going to be more like 16,600 by close of business on Friday. But this is how this grows. So now what I'm going to be getting is I'm going to be getting paid based on that number based on Wednesday. So my total will be 2%, 1%, 1.75%, whatever. Now you may say, well, what exactly is the company paying and how does the results work? The high has been over 8%. Since Nui has been with the company, the high was 5.5%. So let me show you those numbers now so you see where those are. So here are the results. I showed you my results, but here's the hash rate results. The company has spiked just under 5.4%. The average has been right here at 2.6, and we have gone to some low, some high. Here's the bottom line. It doesn't really matter to me if the company drops to 1% or 1.3%, because I'm not basing mine on 1.3%, because everyone in the country, everybody in the world will love to make 1% on their money. 1% on your money is 52% per year. Not very many people make 52% per year. So it seems almost unbelievable, but here it is, and those are the numbers. So as you tell your friends and family, you're going to receive something in your account called overrides and called bonuses. And these bonuses are given to you by you telling a friend and family member about what you're doing. And if they want to get involved, no problem at all. You have these bonuses, and these bonuses range at 10% of whatever they put in. And you also get 10% of whatever they put in forever, for as long as they're mining. You also get 2% of whoever they tell. Now, our company works in a very interesting platform, and I've never seen this platform done before. It's going to confuse some people that don't understand it. But again, we do meetings every Saturday also for training to help you. But here's how the platform works. Personally, you're allowed to build 3 people underneath you. A leg of 3 people is called a tier. Now, if you build your 4th person, because we want to help 1 million people and $500 a month and 10,000 people become millionaires, we're going to allow the 4th person to go under the 3rd person. And when you build your 5th person, we're going to allow the 5th person to go under the 2nd person. And when you build your 6th person, we'll allow the 6th person to go under the 1st person. And it will keep going back and forth from left to right. Here's where it gets beautiful. I'll give you my personal example. So I have personally built just around 79 people. I think I'm at 79 people right now. So I have 3 people direct to me and a whole bunch of people below, left to right, left to right. Now, if person number 46 decides to put in $20,000, like someone did a couple days ago, everyone in that chain up to 10 people will receive $200 override. Doesn't matter who, if you know the person, don't know the person. This is how we get to 1 million people earning $500, because we're all going to be paying it forward, and we're all going to do a go giver. I have never seen anything like that in my entire life. I've been in a lot of businesses. I've done a lot of things in my life, but I've never seen that happen. And the only thing that you have to do in order to participate with that is, if you are 1 person away from the person doing it, you have to have 1 person that you've brought to the table. And if you have 1 person, then you'll get paid on that 1 tier. If you want to be paid on 2 tiers, you have to have 2 people. So the maximum you can get to is 10 tiers. We call that 10 in the pen. So I hope you get to 10 in the pen as quickly as possibly as you can. I did it in 24 hours because I use a system called Nui Connect to help me reach people and do business with people, which is this system right here. So we have everything that you need to help you build your business, everything you need. Even if you want to do this passively, that's fine. You can do it massively, where you use a system to get it done. In fact, tomorrow is our date that we launched 2.0. In fact, let me see if I can kind of pop over to what they're doing. This is some script that's being written right now as we speak. But you're able to take a code like this. In fact, I don't know if somebody wants to test this right now. Actually, you know what? You can't test it because the guys are working on it right now. But something like this will be placed on your Facebook page and wherever you want to. And the person literally puts in their first name and their last name and their phone number. We talk about creating 10,000 millionaires. And once they put this in, it's literally going to text them and give them information. It texts them once. It asks the person a question. The person answers the question. It retexts them again. The person answers another question, retexts them again, and continues the process until the person signs up. If the person does not sign up, it puts them into a funnel and does a follow-up with them for a year. Absolutely no works. This is probably the one tool that I use that helps more people than any other tool that I use. Okay, so we have that available. What we also have available is our Facebook page, which is called Nui Social Team Fanejo. And what Fanejo stands for is failure is not an option. What I love about our company and about Nui is we have several team members, several leaders like John Johnson and Scott and Mark and all different people that have their own teams. So we have all come together to help everyone, and we want to help everybody succeed. Even though I don't get paid for their team members, or they don't get paid for my team members, or whatever, we all help each other. Everyone has their own groups, and we all work together to help people. So what's nice about our group is we have a simple get started section, because a lot of people don't understand what to do next, and there's a lot of fumbling around. It took me probably a month and a half to 2 months to figure out all the stuff that's going on with Nui. And what's nice about this is you literally go to our Facebook page, you click continue reading, and literally it will tell you everything that you need to do. It tells you a little bit about it. You can watch the first video of me talking, showing different things that's happened in the world. It talks about me being honest and transparent with you and showing you everything. And then this actual page will give you an option to do it passively. If you want to do this passively and you don't want to talk to anybody, that's not a problem at all. There's only 4 steps. You do these 4 steps, you're passive, you're making your money every week, wonderful. If you would like to become a builder, it's a lot more complicated. You have to do certain things, and we'll help you and walk you through it. We also give you a file cabinet in our group that shows you how to do it passively and how to do it team building. And we also give you a script of what you should say to your friends and family, because you really don't fully know what to do yet. So we give you all that information. Not only do we do that, we give you something called a memory jogger. What I love about these 2 memory joggers, let me use the other one that shows a little bit better. This memory jogger helps you remember people that may need your help. So you say or think of these couple things, and it gives you a name, and then you use our system to help you get there. And then you can also use our Nui Connect system to follow up with the people, send them text messages, send them emails, send them voicemails, and that whole situation. So now you may say, all this sounds great, wonderful, but how do we know blockchain is going to be around? I heard certain things on the news that talks about, oh, blockchain is a bust and blockchain is great. And well, the news likes something called ratings. So I'm not sure how much I believe in the news. What I do is I do my own education, and I do my own looking up things. And I'm kind of a simple guy. Look, I'm not the most charismatic in the world. I'm not the most intelligent guy in the world. I was born at night, but I definitely wasn't born last night. So I can look and see when the trend of something is going to change. And let me tell you why I believe that blockchain is here to stay and blockchain is going to revolutionize the world. Because when I do my research and I see people like Google, the biggest Google, by the way, is worth $750 billion now. I don't know if you guys caught the 60 Minutes on Google on Sunday. Google, Google's taken over the world. They really have. So now Google is working their own blockchain. This is March 2018. Okay. Then you have Ford talking about cryptocurrency, fuel technology patent. Then you have Cisco blockchain. This is March 2018. Then you have Audi doing the same thing, blockchain. Then you have blockchain has grabbed the attention of investors, and you have people like the Rockefellers that are heavily now into cryptocurrency and blockchain. It doesn't take a rocket science for me to figure out if I saw one of these, I'll go, let me investigate. But when I see 10, 15, 20, and by the way, I only showed you guys 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them. I have another 30 I can show you. I've checked them all out. And when you see things like that, you have to pay attention to what's going on around you. I'm not sure about you, but I've missed the internet revolution. I missed the .com revolution. I missed the Apple situation, didn't get involved in Apple as quickly as I needed to. I missed all those things. I don't know what you guys are going to do, but I'm definitely not missing blockchain. There's no way in the world I'm missing blockchain. So let me tell you a couple things about people and this is in closing so I can get this done for you, okay? We're right at 31 minutes. So how many people would like to buy $84 million, actually is $80 million, because Bitcoin has dropped since this article was written, would like to buy $80 million pizza? Because 8 years ago to the day, the anniversary just happened, This kid bought 2 pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin because Bitcoin was worth nothing. Nobody understood it. Nobody believed it. Nobody thought it would be anything. And this guy was smart enough to accept 10,000 Bitcoin, which was worth like less than a penny. So it was no money at all. And where are we today? 10,000 Bitcoin at $8,000 is just over $80 million. Let me repeat. 10,000 Bitcoin is now worth over $80 million, and someone gave it away for 2 pizzas because they didn't understand. And this is the anniversary of that. So, ladies and gentlemen, the same thing is going to happen with blockchain. Yes, people don't understand. Now, Bitcoin didn't get the type of publicity the blockchain's getting, that I can assure you. They did not get that type of publicity. But now you have a decision to make. It is what it is. We are in a perfect scenario. You can go to newyeducate.info to get involved. What does it cost for you to get involved? Very simple. You'll pay $125 a year to be involved. If you would like to join our crusade, which it is a crusade of helping 1 million people, you bring in 3 people before the end of June, we'll give you your 125 back. In fact, it took me 3 hours to get my 125 back because I brought 3 people in within the first like 10 minutes. So if you help us help others, that's great. But what if you decide that you didn't want to help others and you just wanted to compound for yourself? So let me show you my chart and I'll close the meeting. I started with $1,131. Based on that, I would have gotten $22 the first week, $23 the second week, the third week. That's fine. So what I actually did, let me take this number out so you're not confused. If I continued at that scenario at 2%, which you saw the companies at 2.6%, so actually if I take that to 2.6 average, 2.6, the number actually would be $60,000 I would have in the account should I not cash out every single week. And what I would do at the end of 156 weeks, I will start cashing out $1,541 per week is more than they pay you with Social Security. Social Security can get the same thing that Social Security is paying me for 30 years. I could have done it in 3. This is why we use the slogan, 3 is the new 30. So instead of me cashing out $1,541 per week, I may cash out 2 weeks and put 1 back in. Maybe 1 week, something may happen to my car or something and I want to pull it out. That's fine, but I'm always going to put something back in to keep this going. Now, that's if I decide to do this passively. However, I chose not to do it passively because I truly believe where much is given, much is expected. I truly believe that if you help people get what they want, you'll automatically get what you want. So it's been 15 weeks for me, and I'm averaging about $4,100 every single month, or $136 per day in bonuses, in rewards. So I put that into my calculator, and what that will do at 2.6 will give me $2 million at the end of 3 years. Now, I said 3 million earlier because it will start compounding more, and what that will mean to me, it will mean $53,000 per week. I don't need $53,000 per week. So this is where my children and their children and their children will be taken care of, because I truly believe blockchain is going to stay around. Just like they mentioned, the internet was a fad and the internet was not going to be around. Here we are today. I believe blockchain will last forever. I really, truly believe that. That's your decision that you have to make. But what number am I risking? $1,131. People put in 100,000. That's fine. You can put in whatever you feel comfortable, but these are the numbers, and numbers don't lie. Now, your situation may be different because you may pull some money out at a certain time, but right now I'm 15 weeks in. If I move this over to 15 weeks, it runs at, if I look at the bottom, is $16,018. I am now actually over just under that amount, and tomorrow I will be paid. So tomorrow I will actually catch up to that. So I'm tracking perfectly. Okay. So that's how the system works. That's all I have. So if you have any questions, you can unmute yourself, raise your hand, whatever you like to do, and I will unmute you, and I'll get any questions you have answered. I really do appreciate everyone listening to me. I'm sorry I took about 5 minutes more than I normally do. I apologize. Any questions or comments? You can unmute yourself or you can raise your hand and I will catch you. Let me stop sharing the screen so I don't interrupt anyone. Anyone want to raise your hand? Any questions or any thoughts? You guys give me some hard questions. It's got to be a hard question out there. Did I shock everybody? Is everybody in shock?
Hi, Clay. It's Liz. I had a friend give me a really hard time the other day because I posted something in this and I'm happy about it and all that. And he just went off on me and said, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme and you should look up, on the internet. He named a few names of companies and blah, 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 blah. And I was surprised to get that response from him. So can you make some comments about that for people?
Well, why would you be surprised to get comments from someone that doesn't fully understand? Because anyone.
Well, actually, this guy knows a lot, and he has written about the blockchain on Medium.com. He's pretty well informed, but apparently he wanted to be right.
You mean like the owner? Hold on. You mean like the owner of the Clippers saying that the iPhone is just a fact? And he is a pretty wealthy guy.
Yeah.
He's wealthier than I am. He can buy the Clippers. I can't. So you mean like him making that statement that the iPhone is too expensive, it will never take off? Okay, stuff like that. So basically the scenario is everyone is entitled to their own opinion. I don't doubt anyone for their own opinion. Everyone can have their own opinion. I would question the fact if he's doing it. I don't know what his situation is, but I've had many people tell me, because every time I mention something about working with people and people underneath and people getting overrides, people jump to the same conclusion. Oh, that sounds like a pyramid. Well, I appreciate your thought. I appreciate that you're saying that you may think something is a pyramid, but what is corporate America? I like to deal with reality. If someone is going to say something negative about what I'm doing or what I'm believing in, I simply ask you a simple question. Please prove your point. I will debate anything with anybody that wants to debate it. And if you have a valid point, I will concede and I will go publicly and say that this person was right and I was wrong. So when someone tells me that we're running a pyramid, the first question I said, okay, great. So a pyramid means that there's someone on the top making all the money and someone's on the bottom not making any money. Is that why you think I'm running a pyramid? Oh yeah, that's what I think. So what is your job? Do you have an owner? Does your owner have a general manager? Do you have a manager under him? Do you have employees under them? Do you have it all the way down to janitor? That sounds like a pyramid to me, but we'll leave that one alone. So the person says it's a Ponzi. So what's a Ponzi? A Ponzi is a situation where people are putting money in and you're being paid off of that money. Well, Mintage Mining has proven and have shown us that they're mining. I've been to their facilities. I've seen the mining units actually mining. We get paid every single week. So if he wants to believe that this is a Ponzi because that's his opinion, then that's his opinion. If he would like to get on our call, today's Tuesday, please have him come on Thursday and debate me. I would love for him to do so because I have nothing to hide. And if he wants to debate the situation, as long as he's respectful and he wants to bring his points, I will listen to them. If he's not going to be respectful, then I'm not going to talk to him. So it is what it is. People are entitled to their own opinions.
I told them about Jones Day, that, if the top law firm in the country, if we retain them, then clearly it's a good company.
Well, people have to make their own decisions. I see a couple of chats here. William, how to contact after the webinar to be able to get more detailed information. I'm not sure who invited you, William, but if I invited you, because I know people look at my Facebook page. If you want to contact me personally, by the way, I have nothing to hide. If anybody wants my cell phone number, I'm all about paying it forward. But just make sure, William, if someone did invite you to the meeting, you can still please let me know when you do contact me that someone did, because I want everyone in the correct pecking order. But my cell phone number is 951 area code 453-9996. That's 951-453-9996. And let's see, we have another comment. Don says, get with the person who invited you. And okay, yep, there you go. Yep, Don handled the question. Okay, so Mark has a question. Mark, let me unmute you. Hey, Mark, all the way from Cabo. You are unmuted, sir.
Hey, how you doing? This is a question I would like the answer to. Because there's so much money available in the mathematical formula of mining is so on mark. I don't know how you say that. Why do they need all of us little guys? I know that it's nice to think we can save the world and we all get a chance too, but with regulations and difficulties, why wouldn't they just find one or two guys that are moneyed up and mine privately and stay under the radar? What's the reason for needing us?
I think that is a great, brilliant, probably one of the best questions I've had since we've been doing this meeting. I agree with you 100%, and I think that's something they can do. But when I looked in the eyes of Darren and I met him for the first time, which is our CEO, this man actually has a passion to want to give back. He wants to help people, and he can get those investors. He can do it himself and be greedy. But sometimes in life, purpose of life is what makes some people happy. And this is his purpose. He says, I want to get to 1 million people and give 1 million people a chance. Unlike other companies that are only about greed and their boys club and their little, clique, he wants to do something different. And that's why he starts off by saying, I want to help 1 million people earn $500 a month and 10,000 people become millionaires. And I'm so glad he did, because I'm not sure if I would have met him if he didn't do that. And right now I'm up almost 1,600% and tracking to put myself in a position to take care of my children, grandchildren, children's children. So that's his call. And when a man looks me in the eyes and tells me that's what his goal is, and I met him for the first time, and he took me to the airport and he asked me the same question. He says, what do you want out of life, Clayton? What do you actually want out of life? And I said, you know what? One day what I would like to do is I'd like to start my own Shark Tank. But instead of taking 30, 40, 50% of these people, I would just take a small fee. I will help them build their business, because where much is given, much is expected. And he looked at me, he says, boy, and I feel the same way. That's it. I mean, I can't, until he proves me wrong in what his statement is, I have to believe his statement.
So because you fortunately had that warm and fuzzy moment, that justified going beyond logic, because you believe his heart truly is that go-giver.
Yep. Well, that and the fact that they paid me for 15
well,
weeks.
That doesn't mean much, because USI and BitConnect paid for a long time. Mm-hmm. But those may have been exit strategies from the very beginning, where there's more money robbing this industry than there is a bank or anything else.
I think that's a great point. And I think that's a really, really good point. So a couple of things that made me feel comfortable about that. Not only him giving me the warm and fuzzies, the fact that Jones Day is part of the deal. And when you look up Jones Day, and my attorney tells me Jones Day is something major. I didn't know who Jones Day was, but I don't think Jones Day, that's been around since the 1800s with over 3,000 attorneys, will put their name on NUI if that's what they felt that was going to happen, because that will damage them. That will damage over, almost over 100 years of them doing business. I don't see that happening. So yes, there has been some other companies. And as I look, and I know about a couple of those other companies, and here's what I look at. A couple of things I looked at was a little different. I don't want to, in fact, I'm not going to say the name of the company, but you guys know who I'm talking about. There was a company that was out of Dubai, promised everybody in the world and made a whole bunch of people a bunch of money. And that money was a little bit interesting. In fact, when I first looked at that opportunity, my attorney looked at me and says, that will never last. He says, they're going to be in trouble. They have no compliance. They're saying they're out of Dubai. There's no corporate office. There's no attorney firm behind it. It's a bomb waiting to go off. And guess what? He was right. I don't know any details about the second company you talk about, but I know about the first one. So the few of the things I looked at before I made a decision to get my friends and family involved is, number one, I wanted to meet the owners, and I wanted to go to their office. I wanted to see if they had employees, unlike the other companies that didn't have employees and didn't have a real office. So I saw that. Then I wanted to talk to Darren. I wanted to talk to the CEO. I wanted to talk to the other two founders. I wanted to see what's in their heart. And I think I'll be a little bit more skeptical if Jones Day wasn't aboard, but I will still feel comfortable with speaking with Darren. But again, everybody has to make their own decision at what's best for their families and what's best for themselves. I feel very, very comfortable. I've come out of retirement to do this myself. I'm not sure how many of you guys have caught this, but within the first week of me getting involved and doing my homework, I actually called Darren. Look, I have some concerns. And some of the same concerns that you, and I interviewed him. And I interviewed him live on camera. in his face, and I asked him 10 very strong questions. And I felt, I'm not sure if you've seen that interview, but after that interview, I felt very, very comfortable. And there's either two things. Him and Jones, they're about to play the biggest game in the world, or they're being real. And I happen to believe they're real, or this man should go try to get an Oscar in Hollywood, because he's a heck of an actor if he's acting.
Well, I believe, like you and many of us, that the blockchain is not going away, and data processing, mining is the future. This will probably continue to go through some changes, but I believe as well with the firm that we're using, they're not going to want to tarnish their name, and the efforts that the company's going through to be in front of the compliance as best they can is what made me comfortable.
Yep.
And I just asked those questions because I get the hard questions, and you're such a wise man. I wanted your feedback.
No problem. Thank you for your kind words. I'm not sure how wise I am. I just pay attention. But actually, while you're saying that, Mark, I'd like to show everyone something while we're on here before we close the meeting. I want to go to my contracts for a second, because I think this is really, really important. Oops, I just had it. Sorry, I clicked out of it. So I want to show you this, and I think this is so important for us. I don't think any of those other companies that you mentioned had something like this, where you actually had an agreement, where you actually had something in writing with your name on it, with the name of the company on it, with the date it starts, with the date it ends, with a blockchain number to it. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys are doing this, but every single one of my contracts is printed out in a 3-ring binder. And every time I do one, I print it and I keep it, because no disrespect, Darren, no disrespect, Jones Day or whatever, a couple things that make me feel comfortable. Darren has 9 kids. The youngest is 4 months old. I will find you. Okay. So also I have all this documentation. So if I have documentation, and I know I have everything in writing, unlike some of the other companies that you mentioned, no one had documentation like this. So I feel pretty comfortable. Anyone else? Nope. Okay. Looks like we're all set. I appreciate so much everyone being on the call. I'll be on again on Thursday. Please do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you on this call are not part of my team, and I'm okay with that. I just ask you if you can do me a favor, please, and just share the information with friends and family. You don't have to make anyone join, you have to push anyone to join. You can simply just ask them a simple question. Tell them that you saw something on Tuesday or whatever day you've seen it, and you'll like their opinion. And like Lucia says, I would love to debate that guy that's coming in. If he wants to debate it, I have nothing to hide. I'm very transparent. It is what it is. So if he wants to come on and talk after,
that would be interesting. Yeah. Well, I handled it pretty much, but I just wanted to bring it out to flesh out the whole Ponzi scheme accusation that I know floats around in the space a lot. Mm-hmm. So maybe I will. Maybe I might bring it.
It's okay, but it's fine. Look, everyone has to make their own decisions, and look, it is what it is. I feel very comfortable. I love Mark's input. He had great input, and he's right. People are skeptical. Look, this is people's money. Some people have worked very, very hard, and when you have 2 companies that hurt so many people all over the world, yeah, people are going to be skeptical. Shame on them. I hope they don't put these guys in jail. I hope they put them under the jail, because I know personal people that got really, really hurt by these companies. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen, when you really think about it, I know I'm not going to be popular. I make a statement, but I'll always keep it real. Look, if you're going to give a company your hard-earned money and you haven't checked them out, and the company says they're in Dubai, and you don't really know, and you haven't, look, the first thing I did is when I found out Nui was in Utah, the first thing I did is got on an airplane. I got on a plane. I wanted to go look at the white of your eyes. I want to see you, talk to you before I give you anything. Okay, so sometimes, maybe we need to take responsibility for our own actions. If you're going to give people money and people are going to be paying you 2% a day and it sounds too good to be true, sometimes it is. because there were people. See, the big difference, I'll close with this statement. Here's the big difference between one of those other companies and this company. If Lucia decides that she's going to put in 50 grand or whatever she puts in today, and I get paid 10%, the difference is I don't get that 10% in my pocket. Because if I got that 10% in my pocket like those other companies were doing, sooner or later, someone's going to run out of money. It's just a matter of time. In this company, that doesn't happen. That money is put into mining. That money is put into growing more so you can get your rewards of a percentage of it. You don't get that $5 grand right now. Because you do that, something's bad's about to happen. That's what my attorney said from day one. When he saw their business model, he said, it'll never work. Never work. I was in it for 2 weeks looking at it, and it was shut down within those 2 weeks. So I appreciate everybody. Thank you guys so much for spending time with me today.
Thanks, Clay, as always.
And we will see you on Thursday. This has been recorded. I'll put it up in our page if you guys would like to look at it again. Thank you so much for spending your lives with me and giving this information. In fact, I have a meeting starting in 7 minutes for some millennials that I'm working on to help them. So I will get to that meeting. Appreciate everyone. Have a great, great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.
Hey, Clay.
Thanks, Clay.
Hey, everybody.